beautiful people of YouTube. Welcome to the Alondra Show. Okay, we are continuing our college series. This is episode 2, and we're going to be talking about the application process. You can also check out my first video, which is just about like searching for a college. So yeah,
if you're new here, you should check it out. Should be a link somewhere on the screen.
Woo! I'm here with the one and only Marta, or known as the Normal M, and sadly we are missing our other counterpart, the Green Queen 927, Gianna, but she's living the Cali life right now, so it's alright. Also, Marta's information will be in the down bar, and you can check out her awesomely awkward videos. And well, they're awkward in a good way because they're cute. Okay.
Moving on.
So,
applying to college.
The toughest process ever.
Of high school.
What is Common App? Common App is this thing online. It makes your life way simple. And Common App is an online application for colleges. So you go on there and you create an account and you fill in all the information, and then instead of you handwriting or hand typing 15 applications, it does it all for you in one space, and then you can do it for each college that you're applying to.
A standardized application that majority of colleges, at least in the States, a majority of the colleges use them.
Now, you create an account.
You go to commonapp.org.
Yes.
And we'll have that link down below.
Mm-hmm. And make sure you use an email that you use all the time and that you're going to be checking frequently, because that's important. And also don't make it your hot tamale 202 at whatever.com. College, look at that email. So if you don't have an email that's appropriate to send out to colleges, make one. It's not that hard. Make it your first initial and then your last name and then a number and then call it a day. I had trouble with this, creating a password, because you need an uppercase letter, one numeric number.
Non-alphanumerical.
I don't even know what that means. But
apparently symbols are numbers too.
I don't know.
Just Google that stuff, because...
Yeah. So you create your account, and then they just ask you to fill in basic information like your name, address,
where you live, and your phone number, how to contact you, your email is obvious, all those kinds of things.
I'm just gonna reach for the computer so I know exactly what I'm saying to you.
Make your account, you're gonna have all your information, and you're gonna end up at the landing page, just welcome to Common App.
Whoa. The first thing you can do is go to My Colleges, and then you can put down the list of colleges that you want to apply to. Then you just fill in information about the school, a search for it, and then you click on the little checkbox thing, and then you click add, and it adds it to you. So you do that for every college that you want to.
You're gonna have on the landing page, you're gonna have 4 tabs. There's gonna be your dashboard, then My Colleges, Common App, and then College Search. Dashboard is basically where it's going to show you what your progress is for each college in the application process. We'll have yellow flags and green flags and red flags.
Red flags are obviously bad. That means that it's not completed and you still need to start it. Yellow is...
you're working on it.
And then green is...
you're
completed! When you click on a college, it'll give you the deadline of the application, if it has a deadline. Some colleges have a rolling one, so it won't really have one. It can also say the progress of your writing supplement. So now that we're talking about writing supplements, you have to write an essay for the Common App. Bummer.
Just one essay for the Common App, so don't complain. How many have you written in the past 4 years?
Then I think you have 4 to 5 options of of topics that you can write about.
It's not that hard, except you feel the pressure.
It tells you can have 250 to 650 words, I think.
That's what it is this year anyway.
Make it 500. That's a good number, and it's better than 250, unless your 250 is amazing, but still, make it at least 500.
Fulfill the question to the fullest.
Yes. Make sure that is edited and edited and edited until it's pristine, because that essay is like the main thing of
Your lifeline.
Your lifeline to college. Exactly.
Yes.
Have someone edit it, not once, not twice, but like 10 times.
The key to good writing is rewriting, so have fun rewriting.
Yes. On the Common App, when like the Common App itself, like under the tab Common App, the first thing is profile, and that's like your basic information, like your name, where you live, if you have a nickname, like your gender, your birthday, and then like they'll also talk about like, let's see, your demographics.
Tip: memorize your social security number.
Yes.
Do it.
You're gonna use it so much. Memorize that stuff, and plus, don't write it down somewhere where someone can read it. So just
don't be another lone boy.
Yes. Harry Potter reference, of course. The next tab is family. So like your like information about your parents, your siblings, and also they'll like ask you like if they went to school or not. You go on to education, like where you went to school or where you're currently going into school. So like they'll ask you about that stuff, like your grades, and like your transcripts and stuff like that, if you have honors, and they'll ask you about like your future plans. Also, they'll ask you information about your counselor, so like your counselor, whoever, like your college counselor, like whoever, whatever they're named at school, but the person who's gonna be reviewing your Common App and who has to like sign off on it and for you to send it.
Activities!
So
extracurriculars.
Curriculars. Internships, sports, like if you took dance or if you like took classes of some sort, like anything that you did like outside of school or that was like an extra step within school, like put that in there. Colleges love that you do a bunch of crap.
Adds personality.
They'll ask you like if like what your position was, like how many years you did it, how many hours a week you did it, and how many weeks you did it throughout the year, and if it was like during the whole year or the school year, or if you did it over break.
Next,
the essay. Dun 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 dun. So there'll be like a little box and it tells you what the essay is about, like what's the importance of the essay, and then they'll give you like the topics, and then they'll tell you like the length requirement. Right, it gives you a space for you to write it. Don't write it on there.
Just put it in a Word document or use Evernote, which I think is really helpful because it saves all your documents on it. Just look it up. I'll put a link in this.
Because you're gonna be constantly editing it, and so once it's perfect, then you can copy and paste it into there. But don't write it right in there. Don't do that. Those are like the basis of like the Common App. Some colleges require like other specific things like supplements. And so like
it's basically extra essays. It's like another component to your application. Mm-hmm. For some colleges, it's not enough that you send in like one essay and this basic information because everybody gets that. So some colleges just want a little extra.
Mm-hmm. During the Common App, just read everything. My mistake is that I didn't read anything. And so like, well, a week before, a few days before, be like, like, what are you talking about? What is that thing you were talking about? What extra thing?
One of the other things you need to apply for college are your SAT and ACT scores. Mm-hmm. If you have not yet taken the SAT, you should register for the October one. There's one in October every year, and that's the one everybody takes in their senior year that they can still put in their application because they get the score soon enough to put it in the application. When you're taking the test, don't panic. It's literally just a test that tests your current abilities. So, I mean, you can study, like you can practice your math, you can practice writing and read a lot before, but it comes down to just what your current ability is. That's all it's a test of. That's all it's testing. It's not saying you're smart or not. It's literally just a test of what you've learned in school. Another thing to keep in mind is not all schools require this, but you still want to have it just in case, because a majority of schools do want you to have standardized test scores.
Yes. Oh, letters of recommendation. Make sure it's someone who likes you.
Don't just ask your neighbor who you don't talk to.
No, make sure someone that likes you.
Someone you worked with, someone you were taught by.
someone who's actually seen you grown as a person.
That you've known at least for a year.
Or like certain schools or certain programs, like theater programs and stuff like that, like it's better to like letters of recommendation for someone in the field that you worked with, like your theater teacher or your voice teacher or something like that. So that's also something to consider and get on top of. Be nice about it too, because letters of recommendation are important.
Yeah.
So
you want them to put in a good word for you. So.
At least have 2. It says 1, have 2. Auditions and portfolios. So some schools require you, like if some kind of performing.
Yeah, if you're going into performing arts, any kind of performing arts or regular visual arts, film, for that major will require you have a portfolio or you have an audition.
So make sure you know that and prepare for that and know when the auditions are.
Know when they are!
Yes.
Sorry, I had to emphasize that.
Yes. Know when they are. Because I didn't know when they were.
Oh my god.
I didn't. So.
And when you're building your art portfolio, like if you're doing visual art or any kind of art,
make sure you know the requirements for that.
And get a mentor for that. Have someone help you that's familiar with the field, because you don't want to just do that on your own. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have someone who's done it before. And
for auditions, especially for like acting, performing ones, make sure you have a classical and a contemporary monologue, because that's what they're going to ask you for. Have 2 monologues for each type, like 2 contemporary and 2 classicals, just in case they ask you for another one that you can pull out right out of your pocket. For singing ones, make sure you have a song that you can actually sing and that's in your like range. Like if you're an alto and you're singing a song meant for soprano, don't do it. Make sure it's something that you can feel and you can really like show off yourself and personality. And if it's a dance audition, warm up, man. Wear what you would wear for your dance class. Like your tights.
Bring water.
Water, important. Actually, water for anything.
You're not be intimidated, because the reason you're going to college is to get better at all the artsy stuff. So maybe what you do now is nothing compared to what you'll do 3 or 4 years from now. Mm-hmm. But 3 or 4 years from now, you'll look back and you'll be like, well, that's the person that made me into who I am today, right?
Don't stress it too. Yes, stress the Common App and the whole application process, but don't get to the point where you're like this. Like, I'm like, because you get inside your head and then you get nowhere and you're not actually
Go to a couple of concerts. Loosen up, you know?
Take a break, but take it serious. Work on it and do what you gotta do, because it's important. This is like the next 4 years of your life. Do the requirements that they want you to do. Make sure it's perfect. Make sure someone's looking over every single step of the way.
Have fun. In whatever way it's possible. Add glitter glue to, like, your laptop or something.
I don't know. Oh, and then also, applications cost money, but if you qualify, you can get waivers, and then you don't have to spend your money. But if you don't, I'm sorry. And then after the whole process, it's a waiting game, and you're just waiting to hear back from all these schools, and it's excruciating, and you probably live by your mailbox, but it's okay. I really wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. Okay. Inspirational text here.
Early decision versus early action. We forgot to mention that. Early decision is when you apply to a college. They'll have an earlier deadline. You apply to a college, and if you get accepted, then no matter what, you have to go there, because it's your early decision. You decided to go there already. You can only apply to one at a time until you get rejected, and then you can apply again.
Yeah. Early action is that it's sort of the kind of same thing where you apply early, but you have the decision of not going there if you do get in.
Yeah. Basically, you just know earlier.
Like, early decision isn't a bad thing, but
I don't know, if you really want to go to a college and you have the means to pay for it,
go for it.
Yeah.
But if you don't,
you kind of want to have your options open.
I think that is all for this episode of the Alondra Show in the college miniseries.
Thank you for watching.
It's going to be hard, but it's worth it in the end, because you get to go to college.
I mean, learn and get an education.
Hopefully this was helpful. Check out my first episode. There'll be another episode for the FAFSA, which is another excruciating process, but very important, and also about dorming life, like what to pack, what to get, and what's important.
Unicorn poop.
unicorn poop. Oh.